we try to understand the combination of two or more simple sentences to make one simple sentence by using absolute phrase, which is also known as nominative absolute. This absolute phrase is more or less linked with the use of participles, because in this rule we make use of three forms of ing based structures. Just as जब हम ये देखते हैं कि दोनों वाक्यों के सब्जेक्ट डिफरेंट हों, हमने पहले यूज में देखा पार्टिसिपल्स के कि दो या तीन जो डिफरेंट वाक्य दिए गए उनके सब्जेक्ट सेम थे। जब दोनों सेंटेंसेस के सब्जेक्ट डिफरेंट हों, भिन्न भिन्न हों, और एक वाक्य का कार्य का होना दूसरे वाक्य के कार्य पर डिपेंड करता हो, तब हम एब्सोल्यूट फ्रेज का यूज करते हैं उनको कंबाइन करने के लिए। इसके लिए वी फॉलो 3 रूल्स। Number 1 is when we have the verb be, means ism or was were in the sentence, then we change that be verb to being, the ing form of be. And number 2, when the sentence is either in past indefinite or in past perfect tense, तब हम उस वर्ब के स्थान पर having plus third form means perfect participle का यूज करते हैं। And in number 3, when we have one of the sentences in passive voice, then in place of the passive voice verb, we make use of having been plus third form. Only these 3 conditions apply for the use of absolute phrase. Just as we have this example here, you see the weather was pleasant. Here in this sentence the weather was pleasant. We have was as the verb, which is a part of be verb. We went on a picnic. This second sentence depends on the first. So when we have be verb in the first sentence, and we have seen that the two subjects in two sentences, they are different. In the first sentence the subject is the weather, and in the second sentence the subject is we. So we combine them by using absolute phrase as the weather being pleasant, comma, we went on a picnic. Similarly, we have another example, that is, the work was finished, the meeting dispersed. The meeting dispersed depends on the work was finished, and the sentence the work was finished is a passive voice sentence. So, here in the passive verb we will make a change and we replace the verb as this: the work having been finished, the meeting dispersed. Accordingly, we have the third example: the sun rose, we returned to resume our journey. So, in the second part, we return to resume our journey depends on the first. When the sun rose. Rose is the second form, past indefinite, and we convert it to having plus third form. The sun having risen, we return to resume our journey. So, we see that we have used the three absolute phrases when the verb was be, and when the verb was in passive voice, and when there was the verb in past tense format. We do this accordingly by selecting which absolute phrase is required for which pair of sentences. To understand it in a better way, we have this exercise number 2 here. The sentences given here in exercise number 2, they are 8 in number. We have to combine the sentences by using appropriate absolute for synthesizing them.